You know, the biggest thing that we see is pre-retirees coming in and they haven't talked about or considered a few things. The most important is income planning. Second is healthcare planning. And third is tax planning. Those are the three main areas we're seeing folks procrastinate about and not think about it headed into retirement. Yeah, so I like using an analogy of practice your retirement early. So let's say you're 60 years old. Go ahead and create a spending plan. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Where are you going to live? Are you going to have a state tax? Are you going to have a house payment, a car payment, credit card bill payments? We need to really create a spending plan, and we need you to practice it for a few years. That way we can kind of see how much money and how much income we're going to have to create. Social Security is there for you, and it should be there for you to cover some of these essential costs. But is it going to cover everything? You're most likely going to have a gap in what your income needs are or wants are when it comes to Social Security planning. So we need to make sure we create an income strategy that's going to be there for the rest of your life to make sure we have those essential bills covered. That way we can have fun with the other money and live every day like a Saturday in retirement. Inflation, numerical inflation is back down under 3% right now, but the cost of goods are still up. Inflation is always going to be part of your retirement. And if you retire at 65, at 75, at 85, those same things you're buying at 65 are going to cost more. Milk, gas, your electric bill most likely, healthcare. You have got to account inflation into your spending plan to make sure we're keeping up with inflation so you don't have to change your lifestyle. Yeah, so the 4% rule was, developed many years ago. And to be honest with you, the 4% rule just doesn't work anymore. As a matter of fact, Wall Street Journal just did a report that says the 4% rule is now a 2.1% rule. We're living longer. Longevity risk is real. We got to have income that's going to be there for the rest of our lives. So we prefer to use strategies like fixed index annuities with income riders to make sure that you have an income that you can never outlive. And what's beautiful about these income riders now is they have multi-benefit riders attached to them. So if you get sick, there's some additional benefits for you there too. So the 4% rule was developed back in the early 90s. We're in 2025. There's other ways to create income that you can never outlive. I would say hit the taxable money first, your 401ks, your 403bs. Then we step into our tax-deferred money, and then we wait to the very end, as long as we can, for that tax-free money. Right now, we're seeing a lot of people doing Roth conversions because taxes are so low, and that's a brilliant thing to do. Let's go ahead and pay the taxes now. That way we have tax-free money down the road. But if you want to order as far as tax efficiency, let's take the taxable money first, the tax-deferred money second, and the tax-free money last. If you pull money out of your IRA, your 401k, most likely, if you do this before 59 and a half, you're going to have a penalty. So if you have to take money out of your 401k, for an example, just take a loan. Take a loan against that 401k if you're in a dire straits for that money. That will avoid that penalty for you because that penalty is steep and it's very expensive. As far as RMDs, required minimum distributions, you are required to start taking them at age 73 now. And if you wait till after 73, your RMD could be taxed up to 50%. So it's vital to work with a fiduciary advisor to make sure that we are on top of your RMDs so you don't suffer that penalty. Roth conversions are the best vehicle out there, maybe other than HSAs. Again, a lot of people are starting to convert their taxable money now while we're in the third lowest tax bracket we've ever been in. If you can think about future taxes, our debt is still high. It continues to go up. We are going to have higher taxes sometime down the line. We don't know when, but what if you could pay those taxes now? Pay taxes on the seeds versus the harvest. Pay them while you're still working even. Let's get some Roth conversions working for you, because if you can have tax-free money from age 70 and beyond, you are going to be in such a better position. You don't have to take RMDs on Roth conversions. You're going to have tax-free money. Plus, upon your passing, you'll leave tax-free money to your spouse or children. Roth conversions and Roth IRAs are the best vehicle out there. So work with a fiduciary advisor. Find out more about those. So I like to use the word optimize. I think you need to optimize your Social Security benefits. Here's something we're seeing. So many people turn on Social Security when their uncle did or when their coworker did, but that's not you. Maybe we turn your Social Security on at 62. Maybe we wait till 70. There's a lot of things that factor into that. One of the most important things is your health. If you are the breadwinner in the family and you're also not the healthiest of the two, we probably want to wait as long as we can, because upon your passing, your spouse is going to lose that Social Security benefit. Bottom line, they're going to lose that benefit, but they're going to get the greater of the two. If you're unhealthy, we want to wait as long as we can to turn on that Social Security benefit. What if you have longevity in your genes? You know, your grandma and grandfather are in their 90s, or your mom and dad are in their 90s. Maybe we wait till 70. Or maybe you're someone, you've planned well, and you can retire at 62, and we go ahead and turn it on at 62. You know, sequence of returns it's part of this. Let's go ahead and take that money now and use it for lots of several things. We can buy life insurance with it. We can invest it in the market. All kinds of different things we can do. Every single person is going to be different as far as maximizing or, like I said, optimizing your Social Security benefit. But don't hesitate to work with a fiduciary advisor to make sure you optimize when to turn that on. Yeah, so the big beautiful bill was just passed. So a lot of things on the taxes on Social Security have changed a little bit. But if you're still a wealthy individual, there's still taxes to be paid on Social Security benefits. But here's what I want you guys to think of. Once one spouse passes away, that Social Security benefit does go away. And another thing, you go from a joint tax bracket to a single. So you go from the best tax bracket to the worst. You got to think about who has the most Social Security benefit, and that's going to really determine when you and your spouse turn it on. It might be different times. That's okay. Let's optimize it, because once one of you pass, the other one gets the greater of the two. We need to make sure that we have the greater amount in place for that spouse, you know, that has outlived their husband or their wife. I think Social Security is a vital part of your income plan. We have a saying that income is the outcome. Your income is the most important thing. We got to make sure you have an income for life. Your Social Security, it's like a pension. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. But is it enough to cover all your bills? Is it enough to get you to the lifestyle that you want? Most likely it is not. If your Social Security benefit is $2,500 a month, but you need to live on $5,000 a month, where are we going to create that other income? We got to make sure that Social Security is the piece of the pie of that puzzle when it comes to your income planning. But we're going to have to do some other guaranteed income planning to go along with that. And we use a bucket strategy: red bucket, yellow bucket, and green bucket. If that green bucket is stabilized with Social Security benefits and another income factor, then we can do anything we need to do to make sure you live the lifestyle that you want. Yeah, this is a challenge for me, because this is a personal matter where I've been working with a couple since they were in their mid-50s, and the spouse, she was ready to retire at 60 years old, and she did. And we did some careful planning. They were good. However, unfortunately, she got extremely sick at 63. As a matter of fact, she was diagnosed with full Alzheimer's at 63 years old. So her retirement planning kind of went off kilter a little bit. So we had to go back in, do some reorganization to make sure that we had enough income to take care of her and her care for her home. So again, I said at the very beginning, you got to think about income planning, you got to think about healthcare planning, and you got to think about tax planning. If you cover those three things, no matter what bump comes down the road in your retirement plan, you're going to be able to maintain that lifestyle. I tell everybody, come in, it's a conversation. It's complimentary, by the way, but it's a conversation between you and our fiduciary advisors. Let us show you how we can wrap a plan together, a written plan, to make sure you don't have to worry about any of these things, to make sure your income, healthcare, legacy planning, tax planning, Medicare planning, it's all going to be built inside of that plan. So give us a call today, come in and see us. It's absolutely free. And again, it's just a conversation between you and our fiduciary advisors.